G'day guys and welcome to my channel. My name is Danny Bird. If you're new to the channel, I ask you to consider subscribing. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. Hopefully some of my previous videos are helping your golf game improve. In today's video, we're going to be looking at why you struggle to take your free-flowing swing from the driving range out onto the golf course. Now this video was inspired over the weekend. So I was coaching at my golf club on the practice putting green and I had some chipping classes going on with my juniors, and in between the classes when I had a bit of downtime, I was watching players go from the warm-up nets to the first tee block. And I'm listening to these players hitting fantastic shots in the warm-up nets. You can just hear the ball, it sounded amazing coming off the face. I'm looking at the swings, they're free-flowing. They look like they're ready to go out and shoot their best ever score. And I would watch them track from the nets across the putting green to go straight to the tee block, and some of the shots that they were hitting were far different to what was happening in the net. And I thought, you know what, this is close to my own heart because I can relate to this. I can relate to working hard on my game on a swing but not being able to take it to the golf course as effectively as I would like. Now, watching those players and knowing what I was struggling with, I thought I would do today's video based upon that. Now, the big issue, the main issue I see players can't translate range to golf course isn't anything to do with how they train, okay? It actually comes down to this want and need to try to control the golf ball and the golf shot and the golf swing in particular. Now, that might sound strange, it might sound completely logical. I'm not sure how you're seeing this, but I personally have struggled with that. We have this beautiful free-flowing swing, and you're watching guys, and you might be one of those players who you kind of stand there and you're in the nets and you're warming yourself up, and it's just these beautiful cracks of a shot. And then we get out onto the golf course, and this is where the problem occurs. All of a sudden, we see players trying to control everything. So I've got to control my club face. I've got to be super controlled through here, but I better not be relaxed. I better get into a really kind of, really athletic kind of posture. So we set ourselves up. The tension through my arms is hurting me just demonstrating this. So God knows what it can be like when you're trying to overly control it. And we get a completely different shot, completely different outcome. And all of that stemming from trying so hard to control the club, we lose that state of flow. So how are we going to regain what we just had 15, 20 minutes ago? So I'll talk you through some tried and proven tips that have worked for myself, that have helped me be able to regain that sense of flow. Now, one of the concepts that I used to tell myself, and I used to constantly remind myself, is to gain control, I had to feel like I was losing control. Now, what I mean by that is not throwing golf clubs, getting agitated, getting angry by any means. It was simply stop trying so hard to control the club. And I likened it to driving a car. When you get into a car, if you get locked in super tight, super tense, and your whole focus is on don't hit and drive and smash into anything, you almost lose the ability to see and feel what's going on around you. And that makes you far more prone to have an accident. You'll often see that a quick last minute reaction when someone pulls into your lane, you're not aware, you react, and all of a sudden you're back in a safe lane, safe space, and you've avoided an accident. But if you're really locked in, super tense, super tight, super focused and diligent on this, you don't necessarily see this person coming in, bang, we have an accident. That's your golf swing, okay? That's your golf game. That's what's occurring when we go to the course. So when you're out on the golf course and you're waiting for your turn to hit the golf ball, this is where we're going to start to work through this. Now, one of the great exercises that I found that helped, and it's a really simple one, is I would stand there whilst waiting for my playing partners while they're hitting the golf ball, going through their routines, and I would just simply shake my arms. Now, I know that sounds crazy, it seems very logical and very simple, but it is just that, but it's highly effective. We're going to take out that tension. So I used to kind of just shake the arms around, and even on occasion, I feel like I'm just trying to kind of bend my elbows. That was a big one because I used to really kind of lock those arms in and feel like there was a lot of tension through the elbows and very rigid. So we're going to get rid of that, okay? So that's number one. While I was waiting for playing partners, I'd kind of be just stood there, shaking my arms around, moving my fingers, just making sure there was a bit of movement there. Secondly, if I had an opportunity and had some time, and I might do this as part of my pre-shot routine because obviously we want to kind of keep up pace of play, I would just move my feet and I would allow the club, now be mindful of not letting the club head past the hands, I'm not trying to build bad habits, but I would just be aware that my arms are soft enough here that As I take the club back, there's going to be a bit of bend in the elbow that my right elbow can bend. I'm not trying to force the arms to be straight. I'm not trying to force tension through my arms to control the club head. I'm certainly not worried about where that club face is going. And then my practice swings would be free flowing. So that then when I did get over to hit the golf ball, by this point in time, we should feel that everything's nice and loose. And we can hit a nice solid golf shot. Now, some of you guys might be wondering, why is it so important to kind of have that relaxed flow state? Well, the reason is quite simple. When we apply too much tension through the body, when we try so hard to control the golf club, we almost put ourselves into a state of roboticness. And the problem with that is there is no leeway, there is no way to make a matchup or a correction or a compensation to allow for a problem. So if I were to swing my golf club and I get really very tense, very tight throughout the setup here, I'm trying really hard to control that club face, keep it nice and straight. As I get to the top of the backswing here, if I make even the slightest wrong move, I'm going to hit a poor shot. I cannot control and reorientate my club face. I cannot make the appropriate matchup. And whilst for those of you that know me know that I do not like excessive matchups, and I certainly don't like lots of moving parts, it is crucial to understand that we still have to be relaxed enough to have the club move, so that if I were to set myself up and I were to try to really hook this club in, but from a relaxed state of setup here, so feeling nice and relaxed, but I'm really going to try and hood the club on the backswing. You'll see there, you can just about see it, the ball flight still went almost dead straight. And what's really, really important is that I was able, because of that relaxed state, because I had taken tension out, because I had a state of flow, I was able to go from a hooked and hooded club face to kind of square it back up because my hands were able to be activated. Now, guys, if you're able to work through those exercises, if you're able to find the time on course just to ensure that we're relaxed and that you can make those practice swings and that you let yourself be free flowing and you allow the notion of, to gain control, you have to lose control or let go of control, you're going to find that you're going to be able to take that beautiful range swing with that great tempo and those great shot shapes out onto the golf course and execute them as and when you require them. As always, guys, I appreciate you taking the time to watch today's video, and I do hope you found it helpful, and I hope it was useful and going to help you improve your golf game. As always, if you know somebody that's struggling with their golf game, and maybe this is something that you've noticed that they're struggling with, please feel free to share the video with them. If you have a question about today's video or just a question in general, please feel free to post it into the comment section, and I will do my best to get back to all comments. If you thought today's video was good and you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. That helps the channel grow greatly. Don't forget to subscribe, okay? That's really, really important. Make sure you subscribe and then hit the little bell, because then you get notified when the videos drop each and every week. And until next time, guys, happy golfing.